Hello everyone. Students, in this section we will discuss about human nervous system. As we know, the human nervous system is well developed, it is well or it is highly evolved than other organisms. So in next slide we will discuss about the human nervous system and its classification. So basically the human nervous system classified into three parts: central nervous system, that is CNS, peripheral nervous system, that is a PNS, and autonomic nervous system, that is ANS. So first of all we will discuss about the central nervous system. Students, it is also divided into two major parts, the brain and spinal cord. We know brain is located inside the cranium and spinal cord is located inside the vertebral column, and they shows branches. In next system we will study about the peripheral nervous system. Actually these are the branches which arises from brain and spinal cord. Students, here there is two parts mostly, the cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Cranial nerves these are the branches which arises from our brain. So such type of branches are called cranial nerves. The branches which arises from our spinal cord, such type of branches are called spinal nerves. So these branches are mostly responsible for voluntary process. They control to our voluntary processes in our body. So let's go to autonomic nervous system. This system is also shows two parts, sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Mostly this type of system is involved or it is responsible for involuntary processes. In our body, the involuntary processes are carried and such type of processes are controlled by our autonomic nervous system. In next slide, we will discuss about the human brain. It can be divided into three parts: forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. So these three parts are major parts of our brain. First of all, we will discuss about forebrain. Forebrain also divided into three parts. Number one is olfactory lobes, number two is cerebrum, and at last the diencephalon. At first, now we will discuss about the olfactory lobes. Students, this is the narrow part and it is located just behind the cerebrum. Cerebrum, we know cerebrum is the largest part of our forebrain. In next slide you can see here this diagram shows our cerebrum. So cerebrum is largest part, it is about 80% of the total brain. It divides into two equal halves which is called cerebral hemisphere, the right cerebral hemisphere and the left cerebral hemisphere, and both cerebral hemisphere joined by a corpus callosum. At the lower side of our cerebrum there is a corpus callosum which connect to the both parts of the cerebral hemispheres. You can see this part shows a number of folds. These folds are actually increases surface area of our brain. As we know, the numerous nerve cells are present inside the brain, and for the purpose of memory, for the purpose of intelligence, the folding part increases surface area and it is also directly related to our intelligence. As the folded part is more, the intelligence or memory is more. So in such case, the folded part shows ridges and furrows. The ridges are actually called gyri. You can see the bulging part. So these parts are actually called a gyri, and the furrow, you can see these are the furrows, and these furrows are actually called a sulci. So the cerebrum shows gyri and sulci. Here the gray matter and white matter is present inside the cerebrum. The outer layer, which is because of gray matter, and white matter is located below the gray matter. You can see the different, it shows also the lobes. The different lobes of forebrain are showing in this diagram. You can see this part, we can see the anterior part of the brain, and this part is known as a posterior part. This part, upper part is called a superior part, and lower part is a inferior part. For our better understanding this diagram, we can say the anterior side, this side is a posterior side, the superior part, and the inferior part of the cerebrum. So these lobes are actually arises from our cerebrum. So first of all, we will discuss about the frontal lobe. Frontal lobe, it shows a Broca's area. You can see the arrow. This part is located for Broca's area, or it is also called a motor area. And what are the functions of the Broca's area? Mostly the students, this part has been asked in a board exam many times. So you have to remember. So Broca's area, its function is it translates thoughts into speech. So it is its function. Translation of thoughts into speech is the function of Broca's area. So mostly the cerebrum, mostly the all lobes are involved in voluntary processes of our body. It controls two voluntary processes. For example, our memory, intelligence, our thinking capacity. So these all are responsible by our frontal lobe. Now let's go to parietal lobe. So what is the function of parietal lobe? Our parietal lobe is mostly involved in sensation of pain, pressure, temperature, taste, etc. Now temporal lobe. Temporal lobe function is it contains controls for smell, hearing, auditory, speech and emotions. Mostly this area is responsible for auditory area. Auditory means hearing. The last one, that is the occipital lobe. This area is responsible for our vision. They have a visual area mainly for sense of vision. Now let's go to next slide. In this diagram, you can see this is the actually sagittal section of our brain. The largest part, it is in a pink color. You can see here is a cerebrum. Below the cerebrum there is a olfactory lobe, and olfactory lobe, its function is actually a sense of smell. Now below the cerebrum there is a diencephalon. In a blue color you can see the diencephalon. We know the diencephalon is the part of our forebrain. It shows thalamus and hypothalamus. The dorsal side, which is a thalamus, and it is directly connect to our ventricles. Here you can see, so this is a ventricle. The four ventricles are located inside the brain, which filled by CSF. We know what is CSF? It is a cerebrospinal fluid. And what are the functions of CSF? Mostly the CSF are shock absorber. They nourish to the brain, also transmit gases, also removes some toxic or harmful substances. So these are many functions which play important role in our brain. Now let's go to the thalamus. Thalamus is actually a non-nervous part and it connects to the ventricles. At the lower side, you can see here the lower side of the diencephalon there is a hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is very important part. It play major role, like it secretes neurohormones. So basically the hypothalamus is important for it controls or it is responsible for homeostasis. It maintains equilibrium. It maintains internal concentration. Thermal regulation. Also thermal regulation is takes place inside the hypothalamus. And below that there is a pituitary gland. And we know pituitary gland is a major part of our endocrine system and it is also stimulated by our hypothalamus. So hypothalamus is a gland which controls to our pituitary gland and also its functions. So this part is a diencephalon and its function is mostly it involved in involuntary process. It controls to involuntary processes of our body. Let's go to the midbrain. Here the midbrain is located between the diencephalon and pons. Here this part is a pons viruli and below that there is a medulla oblongata. And both parts are called a brain stem. Before that we will discuss about the midbrain. So midbrain is a narrow part of our brain and mostly it responsible for involuntary processes. Which are the involuntary processes? For example, respiration, circulation, maintaining pressure, temperature. So such type of the processes are involved in involuntary processes. So the midbrain is working along with our hindbrain. Now let's go to the hindbrain. The hindbrain shows three parts: the pons viruli, medulla, and cerebellum. And these two parts are actually called a brainstem. You can see here the brainstem. The bulging part is called a pons viruli. The below that the medulla, and beside it, it shows a small brain-like structure that is called a cerebellum. Here cerebellum is also shows two equal parts like in a cerebrum. So two equal parts are called hemispheres. The two matters, white matter and gray matter, are located inside the cerebellum. What are the functions of cerebellum? You can see here the function of the cerebellum is mostly it involves in involuntary processes like a balancing. Mostly the function is a balance. It balances to our body. And also it regulate our heartbeats, sneezing, coughing, then also it regulate to our respiratory system. So it is the major part of our brain. So let's go to the summary. Students, we learn about the forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Forebrain shows three parts: the cerebellum, olfactory lobe and diencephalon. Below that there is a midbrain. Midbrain leads to hindbrain. The hindbrain there are three types: pons viruli, medulla and cerebellum.